And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as I always do every day. It is a beautiful day in New York. The weather is so cool and nice. I have my windows open in the back, but these windows are closed so you don't hear all the noise. But how are you all doing? It was first of all, how are you all doing today? I see that there's some people already in the building, and I want to say hello. What's up? Hannah says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. And Hannah, today I am going to the post office and send you your posters. Last week was a crazy week leading into this weekend, but I am going to get this posted to you guys as soon as possible. So I am planning to leave here immediately after and go to the post office, which is it's a distance. So I gotta get there. So let me get that done for you and hand that in. I might be calling you in for some funds. We'll see what happens at the post office because I don't know how much it costs to send this to you. We're gonna figure that out. So stay tuned. I'll let you know. Anthony's in the building. He says, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? How are you doing, Antonio? So good to have had a conversation with you. Oh, wait a minute. Stop the presses. It's Omar Ramos. Good morning. Omar, you're going to live a long time because Anthony and I were talking about you this weekend. We were just talking about you this weekend. Wow, look who's in the building. Anthony, can you believe he's here? Can you believe the legend, the myth is in the building? Oh, you're going to be, excellent. August 30th. Awesome. You'll also be one of the last people to enjoy this apartment because it will be gone after after October 7th. October 7th, it's all over. And then we have the wonderful Janet is in the building. She says, good morning, Touch Base Daily family. How are you all doing? We're on the last month of living in this apartment coming September. It is my last full month in this apartment. And makes me feel all kinds of ways. But I'm happy. Because there's a lot of new opportunities coming up. I can't wait to share some of them. I was at the event this weekend, and Janet was there, and I lost Janet. Janet, what happened to you? I was looking all over for you, and you disappeared. I was like, where is Janet? Anyway, I was like, where is my girl Janet? She can't get too far, and I don't know where she is. And but this time she got away. I couldn't find her. Couldn't find Janet. So, but it was a wonderful event Saturday. So many photographers came out. And so today I'm just going to go through those photos and share them with you. The photos that I captured. And then I'm going to close out with our Motivation Monday. And I know there's a lot going on in the news, but you know what? Y'all get enough of the news from outside of me. So you can get that. And we talk about news on Thursdays. And that's when we're going to keep it limited during the weeks to Thursday and water cooler Wednesdays. And so I have a lot of folks that responded to my invitation at the event on Saturday at the Photographers Day in Brooklyn. Photographers Day in Brooklyn celebration. And that is tomorrow is the actual World Photography's Day. Tomorrow is the actual World Photography's Day where everyone around the globe celebrates photography. So I'll be posting some of my wildlife photography tomorrow. I'll send some of my street photography out there. I'll put some of my celebrity photos out in the world tomorrow. So stay tuned. Maybe I just put them all in one video, like, and you see my photos. Maybe we'll do it that way. There's so many to take and put it into, like, just post all day. So we'll make one big post or two big posts. And look who else is in the building. Lisa, we missed you last night at the game night. We had a good game night last night. And We almost got stuck on connections. We almost got stuck, but Chris R came to the rescue, and she saved us. She saved the day. She definitely saved the day. We were able to get through that puzzle. And but yeah, I'm gonna show you some photos. But let me also bring in our Instagram folks, because I know that I don't usually rush to get the Instagrammers in like I used to. I'd be like, oh my God, I get it all set up in Instagram. Instagram, it just happens when it happens. And so I will do that now and plug them in, as they say. I like to plug Instagram in. And but man, it has been a whirlwind of a week and a half. I started out 2 Saturdays ago, packing up my mom's house, getting that all together, handing in those keys. And then thanks to Adrian in New York City, who's in our community, she gave me some good information. I was like, now I got how do I get in contact with all the people and let them know that she doesn't live there any longer? And do we send her mail to me, or does her mail go to the nursing home? Well, they can't look at it, right? So I guess I have to get the mail sent to me, but I don't have an address now, so I don't know where I'll be living. I don't have a permanent address. I am going to be using my brother's address, because I'll be also looking at maybe an apartment in that area. If I ever come back, I'll be on a waiting list for about 2 years. So that's good too. So it's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Then I had the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival, which was all that week, the week before last. And then all last week I did editing and got photos to all the clients and all the people and all that yada yada. And then Saturday, to top it all off, was the World Photographer Meetup, photography in Brooklyn. And that was celebration of many, 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 many photographers. It's like a reunion. That was so priceless Saturday. And then I spent all day yesterday editing photos. It was a long 2 weeks, but I'm happy. I am happy. I had a great 2 weeks. And yeah, so it's been really beautiful. And so here I am, y'all. So what else is going on in your world? Oh, DS is in the building. I see you, DS. Get a post box. Thank you, Chris. That's why I look, you guys give me information. That's why I rely on the community. I'm a believer of the community, because I don't have all the answers, and not one person has all the answers. Get a post box. My neighbor also, she's put me on to, there's a service somewhere in Florida where you can get all your mail sent to them, and then they send it to you wherever you are in the world. I'm figuring this all out. So I'll be doing that. But for now, I need to have my mother's mail come. I need to get a box soon, so that way I can have her mail go to that. And then while I'm setting up this thing that we have in Florida, we'll see. But that's how my neighbor, she has it set up in Florida, and all her mail that used to come here now goes there, and it's already automatically sent to her home in Portugal. So, which is really cool. So I need to call her today and get on that. So, but it is a lot of work it is a lot of work to move and to change your living situation. Okay, there we go. So what else did you guys do this weekend? It was hot on Saturday. Was a great day. It was warm, but Sunday was hot. Yesterday was hot. And then I was supposed to go to the Soul Summit yesterday. And as I was getting ready to leave out the door, the storm came through. And well, it was wah, 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 wah. And I didn't get a chance to photograph Soul Summit yesterday. And I was so disappointed, because I love photographing Soul Summit. It is one of my favorite things to do. So Omar, you have to let me know. Are you coming here? Are you staying here? Are you staying a couple of days? Are you going to your cousins? Let me know what you're doing, so that way I can set up the calendar. because I might be going to next weekend. I might next week be in Delaware. I have to see yeah. So we'll see. My calendar's everywhere, and traveling is about to begin on a furious level. So I'll be in North Carolina in October. I'll be in Atlanta in November. I will be in possibly now Florida in December. Well, there's a lot going on, guys. There's a lot going on. Okay, let's see some more greetings. Let's see some more greetings. I see here. I see. Hi, Omar. Okay, DS. There we go. Hey, hello, Ron. DS here. Nice to see you back home after the amazing week. Yes, I am home. Janice says, it was a great gathering on Saturday, meeting, greeting, and expanding the circle. And then Chris gives me the just get a post box. And I see more love. I see more love. I see more love between the two of you. And DS says, that's great that you photographs, you photographers come together. Yes, it is such, the world of photography as individuals can be very lonely. Our craft is a lonely craft in a lot of cases. We're editing alone. We're photographing usually alone. We're building our businesses alone. So when we come together and you meet other photographers, those other photographers are a refuge. Just learning and seeing what they're doing and conversations and how their business is doing and how are they navigating the new economy and then meeting people that you always followed online that you didn't meet in person, or you see them on Facebook, or you see them on Instagram, or it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Lisa says you need to close all her credit cards, cancel her utilities. Well, she didn't have any utility. Oh, yes, she did have a utility, I guess. No utility. No, the utilities was all included in her apartment. So that's all gone, which is great. So no gas bill, no electric bill was all included. That's good. So I don't have no utilities to do there. But my mother has no credit cards. So that's good too. So all that stuff is taken care of. She had no credit cards. Nice. Okay, the food plane. I love it when people in a particular industry come together. Lisa says, or if you don't want to close her CC, then put a freeze on them. Nope, she doesn't have any credit. No credit. We did that years ago. The food plan, Mr. Diaz says, it was hot this weekend. I chose to relax and watch TV. What did you watch? What did you watch? I have tuned in to Aliens Earth. I heard about Hulu's Alien Earth. I think it's on FX as well. I think it's going to be a good series. I like it. Diaz says, Ron, a busy man doing what he loves. Hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building too. Dr. Tachi, don't be mad at me. It was a crazy week last week. I am going to work very hard today to get to the post office to take your poster. The only reason why is that I have to go to the big post office so I can get tubes for your works. So I couldn't do that last week because I didn't have enough time. So I'll be doing that today. I will get down after this and head to the big post office. Because if I do the sandbox, it's always triple the price. And so good to see everybody here. So let's do some photos from the weekend. It was excellent. It was wonderful. D says, Mr. Diaz says, hey Ron, just curious, do you know Edit Carcassoni, a photographer here in the East Coast? For some reason, I do know this person. I met this person, I do believe, yesterday. For some reason, I think I either got a link from them, or I think I met this person yesterday. I'm sorry, on Saturday. I think I met this person on Saturday. I know this name. It sounds very familiar, like I just met it. Yeah. Lisa says, that's very interesting in this day and age to not have a financial or digital footprint. Yes, we get rid of my mother's footprint years ago. I did because of some situations in the past. And I said, we got to take care of this. And so we got rid of her digital footprint pretty much. She doesn't really have a digital footprint, which I am very happy that we took care of that years ago. She and I together worked on that. Janet says, celebrated a birth anniversary of a friend of more than 50 years. Isn't that amazing? Omar, you and I one day will have a friendship of 50 years. Do you know that? If God spares us, and to live a long life, we will have a 50th anniversary of our friendship coming. We're already in the 40s. We're already near 40. Already near 40 years. Dr. Chachi said, IDS. Okay, so let's do some photos. Let's do some photos. So we did that. That's what I did this weekend. Also, I had the great opportunity, I guess you probably saw on Instagram, I had the great opportunity to share about Touch Base Daily, which was an opportunity of a lifetime that Jamel Shabazz, as usual, is always supporting this community. And so he said, hey, he had people come up one at a time, sharing and kind of like highlighting folks. And he says, Ron, come on up. You got to share about what you do. Share about what you do. And so I was able to share. And then one of my friends was next to me. So he had my camera, which I was photographing or videotaping everything. And then I handed him my camera so he can videotape me. I didn't know he was going to do such a great job. And he did such a great job. I said, you know what? I can post this and make a post out of it. And so it's great because now it's a great invitation for people that view it can now slide into my DMs or send me email or reach out to me on Instagram and say, hey, I would love to be on Touch Base Daily. I would love to have a conversation and be, have an interview session and connect. And so I'm excited about that. That's going to be so cool to meet so many photographers. And guys, there are so many photographers in the world. Whoa, Hannah. Whoa. Hannah says happy Monday. And she sent 1999. Woo! Thank you, Hannah. That was so sweet of you. So sweet of you. When these moments happen, I get so I'm like, what? Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Thank you for touching that little dollar bill at the end of that little on the comment box. Thank you. That was so cool. But and it's about building community, y'all. It is all about building community. That's why I do this. And people are like, Ron, are you gonna continue doing your meetups and continue talking online? And now that you're going to be living in Africa, you're in a better place and yada yada. Absolutely. Now I'm going to dive in 100% because now I can give myself to this 100% on a level that I have not been able to do. Because face it, living in New York City, you got to pay the bills, right? So I usually have to make sure I'm working, making money. I have to do headshots. I have to do my event photography. I have to meet people. I have to network. A lot of work goes into working to have a business. And now I am not going to have to do all of that. For those that say money doesn't bring you happiness, but money allows you to do some of the things you love to do and makes life a little bit easier. And I am thankful, and I understand and I will say the word. I understand my privilege. I am in a privileged place. Many people cannot do what I am about to do. And so I am very thankful and very, very grateful. And in the way of Celebrating my gratitude is to be able to give back. And that's what I'm going to use my time for. My time now is to give the world, make the world a better place than I came into it. And that's my function. That's my purpose. Speaking of purpose, and I'll go into the photos. I had a conversation with my therapist last Wednesday. So we had a conversation. And I was telling her all the progress and everything that was happening. And she was sharing, she says, you're in a great place. And I said, why do you say that? She says, because you found purpose. Most people are unhappy because they have no purpose. Most people have no direction because they have no purpose. Most people are depressed because they have no purpose. Most people don't get to enjoy the benefits of life because they don't understand their purpose. And I have purpose. And my purpose is you. My purpose is this community. My purpose is the photographers of color, mainly Black photographers, and getting their name or their trade or whatever they're doing out into the world on this platform. And so you're going to see more photography on here because I'll have more time to dive into conversations. I was talking to Chris this morning. We had our powwow as we do every week. And I said, taking this platform and making it global is going to be so beneficial to the whole community. Think about how many new people are going to join Indie Soup because I'm a little ambassador out in the world for Indie Soup. Not only here in America, but globally. I'm going to now talk about Indie Soup and how it benefits me, how it benefits this community. It will also, I can say, well, I don't have my whole Hello Healing cup today, but I can use mine and say, hey, look at my Hello Healing cup. And then now someone in Africa sees it. Someone in Namibia sees it. And say, oh, I like that cup. I like that cup. Right? So taking this platform globally is going to benefit all of us, I hope. And I believe it will. That's why we're in this. We're in this together. We're in this together. I am the nomad, so that way you can benefit. That's what it is. Somebody has to sacrifice something, right? Tia says, everyone has a gift, a talent. What are you passionate about? What upsets you? What makes you happy? What puts a smile on your face? You should have the answer. Everyone needs to have an answer to those questions. Very true, DS. Very true. We are here. We are here for a purpose. God gave us life for purpose. You can see because it's a purpose. You can hear because there's a purpose. And speak. You have the ability. Don't squander it. God gave you assets. Yes, I'm going there. I'm talking faith here, y'all, because I believe in, look, nothing I can do with it, I can do without my guiding compass, my faith. And I am a believer that you can do almost anything you want to do. So every one of you have a gift. Every one. And every one of you brings something to this community. Every one of you. Every single one of you. So make your gift shine. Make your gift shine. Let your gift shine. Is it photography time now? Was I on my soapbox? Was I on my soapbox too long? DS says, come on now. Right? Use your gift. So this platform is going to be used to help people more than it's doing now. And I didn't realize how many people watch. When we were on Saturday, so many people walked up to me and said, oh, I see you on Instagram. I see you on Instagram. I see you on YouTube. I see you. I was like, really? I didn't know you were watching. You never show, you never comment. Oh, I just hang out, Ron. I just hang out. And I go, really? I said, it would do me a favor. Hit the likes. If you are watching, make sure you hit the likes. Don't just be hanging out, lurking on the sidelines. Hit the likes. I see Fifi's in the building. I see Jazzy Jazz is in the building. Okay, let's get to some photography. Let's get to some photography. Oh, I got to bring that up, don't I? Because I popped out of that screen for a moment. Ba, 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 ba. So while I'm doing that, what are you drinking this morning? What are you drinking? What's in your, like, I have my concoction here. It's a drink, little drink called, what's this thing called? Oh, it's in the kitchen. And but it's good for your blood pressure, it's good for your sugar levels and all that other stuff. So it's a little drink to help you to open up the day. And then I got my watermelon. Oh, can I tell you, I found seeded watermelon. My fruit stand finally is selling watermelon with seeds. Because how many times have I complained? I've gone in over and over and over again and said, sir, we are tired of the seedless watermelons. And he had a big thing of it. And I was like, watermelon heaven. Watermelon is great for your stomach in the morning. It's supposed to be really good for if you have watermelon early, the first meal, like the first thing you eat in the morning, it's supposed to be really good for your stomach and your bio and all the other stuff that's going on inside your stomach. Good stomach health. DS says, every person is so special. We all have our own fingerprints, DNA, and vocal tones. No one person is the same. You are special and one of a kind, a reason to never compare yourself to others. Come on now, DS. Come on now. Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. DS, that's called affirmation. Right, Lisa? You know about affirmations. Okay, let's see what people. Anthony says he is drinking Earl Grey tea. I love Earl Grey tea. That's so good, so good. And Dr. Tati says, is that moonshine, Ron? No, it's not moonshine, but it is in my moonshine glass. It's in my moonshine glass. Omar says, jar, I should say. Omar says, coffee, ginger ale, and now water. Ginger ale. Oh, buddy, I'm trying to get all my friends to get off sodas. All of my friends, I need y'all all to stop drinking sodas. Too much sugar. Too much sugar in the sodas. Too much. Cheese, he's laughing. I was thinking the same. Yeah, it says, also found Watermelon Man in Harlem on Saturday. Yes, you guys have the Watermelon Man in Harlem. And Dr. Sachi says, I'm drinking morning tea. Moringa tea, sorry. Moringa tea. Moringa. Sounds like I should be dancing if I drink that tea. Moringa. Okay, here we go. So let's get to the videotape from yesterday on Saturday, and then go into our wonderful spill. So I shared some of this on last night at our game night, and we'll go back through some of them because it was just our game night folks there, but they probably would be glad to hear it again. So here we go. So we started out with a nice little bang, and we were all sanctioned to be there at 11 o'clock. But you know how people are. They started wandering in later than that. I mean, hello. They're lucky that the photo shoot did not start exactly 11 o'clock. But he said photos at 11. You got, CP. CP. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Black folks know what I talk about when I say CP time. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. And they were all about CP time, some of those folks. But a lot of people were there on time. Like, look, I had arrived there about 10 to 11, and look at all the people. I just immediately start taking pictures. And so there you have it. Then you have, let's see here. We have the wonderful Janet right there. There's our girl Janet signing. We all signed in. We also signed the photo from last year's photo. And so this is our second annual. This is the great Jamel Shabazz. Y'all know he's part of this community and always part of this community, always supporting this community. I am blessed to know he's now become the big brother. He and Howard are big brothers to me now. I said, officially, you guys are big brothers. And these are two other major photographers. I do believe, I forgot this gentleman's name, but his work is in several museums. And this gentleman has done documentaries, but I don't know their names. So, but you'll have to just know who they are. And then you have wonderful again. The folks are out there. So many people came out. And you see who our buddy here, Mr. Keith Major is there. This is Antonio and another Anthony. He was leaving here and on his way to Martha's Vineyard to photograph an event. And then he said, "This is my first time going to Martha's Vineyard. Do you have any suggestions?" I say, "Oh yeah, I got lots of suggestions." So I gave him a lot of suggestions, where to eat, where to go while he was there. And then this is the great Louis Mendez, Mr. Louis Mendez. And he is a living legend at 86 years old, still out there photographing the world. This man is 86 years old, and he is at all these events. He was at APAC. He's always in front and near B&H. He's always in Grand Central Station. He is working, y'all. 86 years old. He takes that camera everywhere he goes, and he mentors a lot of people. He is a living legend. Oh, Debbie's in the building. She says, what is Debbie saying? Hi, Ron. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm a Times Square where it's all cordoned off with several police cars, trucks, and bomb squad trucks. Apparently, there's a package. Walking back slowly. Wow. That was a news break. That was breaking news from Debbie. And see here, I see Kaz is in the building. Okay, and let's go on. Let's continue on. So Mr. Louis Mendez, he's also photographed me. I have my little Polaroid signed by him, and it's in my archives. It will go with me everywhere I go because he's a living legend. And then I mentioned last night, so when I'm taking these photos, some of the photos, I also transfer them into black and white. Reason why is because they're going into my archives. And when I take a color picture and put it into black and white, it goes into my archives. And that means I'm probably going to use it in the future in a book or something, because I'm working on that immediately as I leave. When I get to Namibia, I begin working on my book. Jamel Shabazz gave me such great information. He's been he's an amazing mentor. And so he gave me some great wisdom on how I should approach my book. And I'm so excited that now I have a guidance to help me put my book together. Also, he's still shooting Polaroid. Yes, he is. He is still shooting Polaroid, Omar. Yes, he is. He takes the picture, it comes out. You got to do that time air dry. No, it's not even air dry because people always do this. It's not the air that brings it. It's just time. It's really not the air. The air doesn't make it develop faster. And then this is Spence, another amazing photographer. He is famous for taking so many photos that you see in the Daily News, the Post, and he does a lot of sports, a lot of Yankee games and Met games, and the NHL here in New York City, so the Rangers and the Devils. So a lot of those photos that you see in the newspapers here in New York City over the last several decades, Mr. Spence has been photographing those folks. There's Jamel Shabazz also again. And then you obviously remember Chris. He was on our platform, Mr. Chris Cook. And he is not just a photographer, but he is an artist. And he was there as well. And then you have This gentleman, I forgot his name, but he interviewed me a couple of, I think 2 years ago. No, it was a year and a half ago. He interviewed me, he and his associate, and for their platform. And look at all the photographers. It looks like people are like, "What is going on?" People are like, "What?" In their cars and like, I mean, what's going on? That there's hundreds. I mean, it had to. I think there was 100 of us. There had to be, or maybe more. So this is everyone gathering. We're kind of like trying to sit down and get seated. People pulling in. And then this is from my vantage point. I'm photographing all the people that are around me. Dr. Ty says, I love the video from this event. I have many more. I have many more videos that I'm going to be sharing on our platform. Stay tuned. And then these are all the photographers, and I'm taking these photos from different perspectives. So that way, kind of just documenting the moment. I very rarely, like a lot of photographers are like looking for candid shots, meaning like, hey guys, pose and shoot. I do that once in a while. I am a documentarian. I like to say, I like to make sure I live in a photojournalistic mindset. So I am usually documenting in the moment, like how people are interacting. So I'm a photojournalist. That's what I do, documentarian. That's why I do event photography, because it's an event. I'm able to document the event in its entirety, but in its moments. And that's what I like to do. And I love capturing these expressions and facial changes and what people are doing. Look at the intensity. People are listening and they're hearing Jamel talk and they're hearing Howard talk and all the folks out there. And they're speaking of Howard. That's Mr. Howard. Howard is also the co-founder of this event. It's Jamel and Howard and the Black Photographers Collective that put this together. Howard has also become a big brother to me in a lot of ways, and helping me because he's lived in Africa. So he's been giving me insight on some things I should be thinking about, and what I should be doing, how I should prepare. So he has been really cool in being a big bro to me. Calls me up sometimes and say, "Hey Ron, how you doing? Just want to check up on you." He is that guy. And so again, he is iconic to me. So I had to make sure that this was documented not only in color, but in black and white. So that way it is part of my archives. And then you see the great quick Mr. Butch is in the building. Y'all know Mr. Butch. He is in the building, Mr. Graphic Artist and photographer. And you see all the photographers out there. People came in looking good, suave, just looking nice. It was such a great day. And again, if you're in the building, make sure you hit the like. And if you are in the Instagram world, come on over to YouTube. Let me just show that. Join us on YouTube. Let me put that in real quick. I forgot to do that for the YouTubers. Sorry, the Instagrammers. At Ron Lewis Photos. There we go. That way you guys can know how to get to me, get to our platform. Okay, if you're in Instagram, hanging out in Instagram, now you know how to get there. It's pinned. Okay, so we will continuing. And so, again, everyone's there. I mean, I love it. I love it. Again, it's all about your prospects, your perspective. And again, Jamel is he's now kind of like orchestrating us. Okay, guys, get tight. You guys are too wide. We got a wide angle lens, but we need everybody to get close. So again, iconic moment, a great shot. I thought this was a good shot to keep as an archive. Look at all the people. Look at all the photographers. What's beautiful also is that there's just as many women photographers as there are black men photographers. And there are Spanish photographers that were there. There were white photographers that were there also that support the black community. Folks came out. They showed up. Look who's here. The one and only Derek T. Tuggle. Yes, the DT is in the building. I see DT. What's up, DT? DT is in the building. And I was mentioning about all the folks that are there. These amazing photographers. Look how many people showed up. And everybody had their cameras. And they had a photo shoot for the Canon folks, the Nikon folks. This group of photos is all of the folks that were 30 and younger that attended, and they are the photographers of tomorrow. So we sell Jamel Shabazz wanted to document them being there together, and because 30 years from now they'll look back and see themselves as a part of this collective. So I'm in the background photographing more people doing their thing. And I forgot this gentleman's name. I met him at the Adobe event this year. And gosh, I forgot his name. I meet so many people. And I'm horrible with names. This is our girl, Peach. I met Peach in Photoville this year. And I just happened to be photographing and documenting the moment. And she was doing the same thing. And that we ended up starting to talk. And she, believe it or not, has one of the last photos. She was able to photograph the great Gordon Parks when she was younger. She was young, just starting in photography, and she had her camera, and she took a beautiful photo of Gordon Parks. How awesome is that? Anyway, she and I had a great conversation. I told her, you got to come on to Touch Base Daily. You have to come on board. So we're working on getting her calendar so she can come on board and talk and share her stories and her life. She is also, her mentor is Luis Mendez. Mr. Luis Mendez, who you saw with the big camera, that's her mentor. So there's so many stories in this, yes, on Saturday. And you guys all know Keith, Mr. Keith Major, who I became personal friends because of Omar. Omar introduced me to him, even though I've been following his work forever. Didn't know that Omar knew him. And then Omar and I said, I was like, wait, Omar, you know this guy? Blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, Omar and I talking. And then when Omar was in town, we all got together, had lunch together and talked. And then he and Keith and I have been friends ever since. And I thank Omar for a great friendship, a new friendship that has been great. So Saturday, we got to talk a little bit, got to check up on each other. When he goes out and do speaking engagements, I try to support him and go out and also share it here. But Mr. Keith Major was there, and you guys can see his interview in our Touch Base Daily log. So you just go and just check it out. It's really, as soon as you go into our Touch Base Daily page, his interview is the first one. It's locked for the first interview. Check him out, Mr. Keith Major. It's another classic. So he's classic to me. He's one of my favorite people in the world. And there he is. I have our archive photo. Then these are, again, more photographers. This gentleman is part of the master's program here in New York City. All the people in New York City that are Black business owners that are part of the networking around New York City, he does the photography for the folks with the master degrees. So it's a bunch of Howard people, Morehouse, all these people that have Howard University, and all these folks that have advanced degrees and all that stuff, and NYU, all these folks, the educated elite. But he is their photographer, so he photographs them all over New York City. And yes, moving right along. And this, y'all, made my day. Look at when I show you who this is. Hold on a second. I'm going to take us to another page, because let me go there. Kwame Brathwaite. And so here we go. So I don't know if you guys know the legend Kwame Brathwaite. And I'm going to share the page. And he took pictures during the 60s, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and really until he passed away. Well, his son now is in control of his archives, and he and his wife, which is who I just met on Saturday. And so a mutual friend of ours walked up to me and says, Ron, You won't believe who's here. And I want you to meet her. We're good friends, and I need you to meet her. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. What? Who is it? And he says, the wife of Kwame Brathwaite. And I said, no, today is a gift from, it was like, wow. So this is he and she, and I do believe I'm not sure if it's a daughter or as a family member. And then we had a chance to sit down and just talk. And she was talking about that Kwame's work was just shown, Mr. Brathwaite, was shown in Paris, and it had a show in Paris just ended. And so his work goes around the globe. They had an event here in New York City and at the Historical Society. And that's how I really became acquainted with all of his work, the whole body of his work, of his photography. So here we go. I'm going to show you some of his work because this was such a great celebration. And I'm going to show you this right now. Here we go. Because when you see his work, and so I got to talk to her and share with her why his work was so important to me. This is their website. It's on KwameBrathwaite.com. And this is the page. You see the home page. You see all the works. This is all his work. All the photos he's taken over the years of all these people. Look at these are some of the greatest photos in history. You've seen these photos and didn't even know it was Kwame's works. I mean, look at these people. I mean, from Alvin Ailey to Grace Jones to, all these, Muhammad Ali and the Black movement and the Black Power. Do you know it was his campaign of Black is Beautiful during the 60s that caused Black people to wake up to their own beauty, where Black people didn't think they were beautiful. A lot of folks didn't. They start wearing wigs and try to look white, and they didn't appreciate their own hair. So it was his photography and his help of the movement to now allow and encourage Black women to wear their hair natural. That's where you start seeing afros. Remember the period of afros? Well, that is part Kwame Brathwaite was an instrument in that movement. And so they did a whole big event. And so you see the afro, you see the celebration. And so this woman right here, right there, is his wife, who I met on Saturday. And this was during their whole movement. This is the exhibition. It goes A Brilliant Spectrum, Recent Gifts of Color Photography, Santa Barbara Museum. And all his work is all over the globe. All over the globe. And I was like, wow. I was like, I am honored. I am honored to sit here and talk to you, to just be in your presence, to talk to you. And then I said, may I photograph you? And she said, yes. But that's her. That's her. But what made me so attracted to Kwame's work, Mr. Brathwaite, is because in the gallery showing, I looked at all the years. So when I'm looking at people's photography, I'm always looking at the year it was, photographed. And all these photographs are like 1962, 1963, 1964, 1965, 1959, 1958, 1960, 1967, 1966. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my mother and my father's world. And his photos transported me to my parents' world. I mentioned this last night. That's the beauty of photography. Think about all the photographs that we take today, and that there are going to be young people later on, grandkids of ours, great grandkids of ours, children of our children, our family, all the people that we took photos at this time, And then they're going to look back and say, wow, this is what they did back then. So I was able to go through all these photos, a lot of these photos that were in the gallery. So much more. So much more. He even started his first, he was, I think, right here, I do believe it was his first publication, Black publication. He started a Black publication showing off the beauty of Black women. It was so much. Photographers mean so much to society. Think about all of the great movements in the world because of photography. Photography. Look at this. Now, I know who these are. You know who these people are. You know who these folks are, right? The Jackson 5. The man photographed the Jackson 5. I mean, look at that. His work is incredible. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. I think this is Muhammad Ali. Look at that. Look at that. Human Kindness Day. I didn't even know they had a day called Human Kindness Day. Look at that. Yoko and what's John Lennon. Look at that. Roberta Flack, David Bowie. This man has taken some of the most amazing photos. Bob Marley. So anyway, go to his website, support their work, support what they do, support their family, support this amazing archives of people. And Grace Jones, man, I remember Grace Jones when I was growing up. My mom had all her music. Incredible photos. I mean, you want an insight into the past? Go in, check out this website. I'll have it linked in the description. But I mean, it just goes on and on. But again, there's so much. You go to also to the Instagram page, Kwame Brathwaite's Instagram page, and you'll see other photos as well. So guys, that's why photography is so important. That's why we celebrate photographers. That is why we celebrate photographers. So let me give you a couple more photos of the day, since this is where I ended last night. But what do you guys say? What says you? What says you? So now look at, that's his wife. She's living her life and support and sharing the work of her love. They were married for so long. It's so beautiful to see. Dia says, oh, let me put that to screen. Dia says, I'm fascinated by the lighting work. So well done. And this is always my point. They were taking great photos in the 60s with the equipment that they had. And this is what gives us a freedom to not get so caught up in the equipment, in the gear. You can take a photo with a flashlight if you know how to do it. You can light your subject with a flashlight and take an amazing photo. It's not about the gear, y'all. It's about the passion and the skill set of the photographer. Right? Dr. Tachi says, Anthony Rowland, exactly. Photography and videography is about the human eye and what we see. Yes. Yes. Dr. Tachi says, when I was little, I was in love with the Slave to the Rhythm music video because it was like a fashion editorial. I know, right? John Lennon and Yoko, who's alive and doing her thing, right? I think she's still alive. Okay. Wow. So that's why we walk around with these little devices You are preserving history at every snap of a picture. Every snap, whether it's on a big camera, which is in my bag, or this little device, you are changing the world or you're preserving it. You're either changing the world or you're preserving it. That's the beauty of the camera, right? You're either changing the world or you're preserving it. Next one, let's go. So I can't wait. She and I are going to talk more. We exchange information. I cannot wait to talk to her, and maybe she'll come on. Maybe she'll come on Touch Base Daily. I don't know. She might. She seems interested in just. And she loves to communicate. She's a great communicator. And obviously, I had to archive that moment. I had to archive the moment. And this is the borough president of New York, of Brooklyn. He showed up in support. So I was able to photograph him. And he came to support the World Photography Day in Brooklyn. And so that was good. And we had a good time. Again, that was an archival moment. So it goes in black and white. I don't know how you guys save your photos, but that's how I save mine. If I find something to be very iconic or that is, I think, timeless, I will archive it in black and white. Look at all these photographers. Look at all these photographers. Look at all of these photographers. I forgot her name, but she and I met on Saturday for the first time, and she is an amazing landscape photographer. She photographs landscapes. Look at all the photographers. And that's just some of them. I love this shot. I have to archive this one if I haven't done it already. But this is Jamel Shabazz and a bunch of photographers photographing another group of us. And I was taking photos of them while they were taking pictures of us. And this gentleman, I forgot his name, but he's also another legend photographer. Been in the game for like 50, 60 years. Yeah. I think also photography is very therapeutic. I think photography is good for the brain. Oh, I did archive it. I did. Look at that photo. Isn't that a cool photo? I did archive it. I did archive it. Look at that. Look at Jamel Shabazz. Look at that. And then the three photographers on the side. And then there's a video, movie camera, a documentary video camera behind them, documenting everything. There were a lot of videographers there today on Saturday. Look at that shot. And then you got I got this one with Howard inside there with Jamal, and then all the people there, which had to go into black and white as well. See, and you can all easily do that on your smartphone. If you take a great photo and you're like, this photo is iconic, you'll know it. You'll know what certain photos, you'll just feel it. This photo is iconic. You'll feel it in your bones when you've been doing this a while. And then take that photo and put it in black and white, and then put it in a file of all of your archives, all of your great work in black and white. You can do it on your smartphone. All you gotta do is edit, go to your edits. You know what I say? Snapseed, Lightroom, all your Adobe apps, all that stuff. There could be something coming in the future with Adobe. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'll leave that alone because that cannot be shared. But anyway, this gentleman here has created a coffee. I think it's a shop. I think it's a coffee shop, and it's for photographers and creatives. And they sell film. They also have a dark room. They have conversations for photographers to come together. I'll get all that. I'm going to try to get all this information and contain it into one place and then give it to you guys. But again, a gentleman, I think he's in his 30s. He's in his 30s, and he is an entrepreneur and impacting his community. Jamal introduced him to us on Saturday. What do you guys have to say about all this? What are you guys thinking? Are you encouraged? Are you encouraged? Are you inspired? And all the folks that's putting things together. She's one of the I forgot her name, but she is one of the ones responsible for putting everything together. I love this shot. Someone was holding their cameras, and I had to take this camera. I had to take the shot because it was a perfect stock photo. It was like, this is a stock photo, but I also wanted to use it as a cover to my whole Saturday event. So I'll be using this photo as a cover for what I'm trying to put. I'll put all this together into one video and then use this as the cover. Look at those cameras. It was perfectly set up. I walked up to him and said, wow, let me click away. And I did. So on the smartphone, got the old phone, got the new camera, old camera. Such a great shot. I just love it. I must say so myself. Okay. And there it is in black and white. Look at that. Look at that. Anyone? Is anybody out there? Is my comment box working, or y'all just totally beguiled? Are y'all beguiled? Yes, you're silent. You're silent. Oh, that's our girl. And so she works at Adobe, and she also supports our community here on YouTube. This gentleman also new to New York and has also brought his photography game here. At some point, I have to have all the names of all these people. This is Frederick, who we had interviewed here on our platform. And that was a great shot. He's a legend. He also has a YouTube channel and also has a documentary series now that's out. And we can talk more about that as well. And he was there. It was so good to see him. Remember, he was on our show. He's the gentleman that had glaucoma, and he is now he has lost a lot of his vision, but still is using his gifts to still further touching lives in the photography community. Incredible. His story is incredible. Lost most of his eyesight, but still doing photography and impacting the photography community. Mr. Frederick. And yeah, there he is right there. And I mean, I was shocked. I had a moment to get a picture of these two men together. They've been in the game for years. So you got 86 years old, you got 60 something. I think Frederick is maybe 50 something, maybe 60 something. And then just having them together, 2 decades apart in their photography, and both legends. Ron, how has your style evolved over time? It has. I meet different people. They influence me. My photography changes with situation as I become better at my craft. The more you do it, the better you get. The more you do it, some of the things you thought were important are no longer important. So you grow, and that's why the rule of thumb for photographers or anyone that wants to be a photographer is what? Shoot. I was being interviewed on Saturday. So I got interviewed twice, or maybe 3 times on Saturday. And one of the questions on one of the interviews was, Ron, what do you have? What is a word you can give to beginning photographers? And I was taught this. I do believe Omar mentioned this to me when I first started. Shoot. Photograph everywhere you go. Photograph everything you do. Photograph everything you care about. Photograph the scenes that make you happy. Photograph the things that make you smile. Photograph the things that might make you angry. Photograph the things that are going to help humanity. Photograph everything that's important to you. That's why it's so great that we have these little devices, because we can photograph every part of our lives in our interactions. Anthony says on that photo that I took, a modern camera, a vintage camera, and a smartphone. Sounds like a good photography bar joke, right? Exactly. Kaz says, soaking it all in, Ron. Great pics and capture of the moment. Yeah, that's what it's all about, y'all. Exactly. I see exactly, Anthony. Oh, we already talked about that, the human eye. So that's a good question. That's a good question, Mr. DS. Shoot, shoot, shoot. That's what I will answer. Okay, we're gonna go to a couple more, and then we're gonna close. And then we're gonna. I don't know if we're gonna do. Yeah, we got to do our motivation. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me give you a couple more, and then we'll. There we go. And then this is one of my friends. He's with the great Louis Mendez. Great photographer. Some great moment there. And then that's my buddy, photographing him as well. And then I photographed that. So there you have it. There you have it. It was a great time together at the World Photographers Day in Brooklyn. Okay, so I'm going to give you one close. It's going to be quick. And this is how we close out for your Motivation Monday. Your Motivation Monday is coming now. Here we go. And I mean, I hope you've been motivated already. This has been all about motivation. This whole moment has been about motivation. Okay, so here we go. So this could be found, and this is an old, I just brought one of our old ones up from May 2024, season 2 of our show. And I just said, it's worth coming back to. And that is Motivation Monday. It's just like bathing. It's just like bathing. What's like bathing? This is from Zig Ziglar. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. You got to motivate yourself every day, folks. And this is a good suggestion. Ziegler says, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it's daily. Is a witty and insightful observation on the nature of motivation. It suggests that just like bathing is a daily habit to maintain a personal hygiene, motivation requires regular renewal to stay effective. Who's motivating you today? Who's motivating you today? Who are you motivating today? Motivation is so important. We cannot do and achieve without continual motivation. The underlying message is that motivation is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It acknowledges that the feeling of being motivated can fade, much like the freshness we feel after a bath. Therefore, Ziegler recommends treating motivation as a daily ritual. There's some people online that you can go to their site and they do Motivation Mondays, or they do motivations every day, or they have affirmations on their website. There are people in Instagram or people on YouTube that do nothing but affirm and motivate. Plug into those sites, plug into those people. They will benefit you daily. This could involve reading inspirational quotes, setting daily goals, reflecting on progress, or engaging in positive self-talk. When you feel like, oh, I feel like a fool, don't say it. Don't say it. Oh, that was a stupid move I made. No, don't say it. Don't say it. You know, they always say the power is in the tongue. Power is in the tongue. You got to speak positive to yourself. You got to speak positively about the matter. So what, you messed up? Okay, yes, I messed up today, but guess what? It's going to make me better for tomorrow. Yes, I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve in this matter. But you know what? I learned a whole lot. Change it around. The glass is not half empty. The glass is half full. Okay, next. The quote also implies that consistency is key. People say, Ron, you do this every day. Consistency is key. Ron, you do photography every day. You do photography. How did you get good at photography? Consistency is key. Can I keep repeating it? Are y'all getting it? Consistency is key. Just as skipping a day of bathing can lead to discomfort, yes, it can, not fostering motivation can lead to lack of progress and a decrease in productivity. By recommending daily motivation, Ziegler encourages us to proactively engage in activities that inspire and energize us, thereby making motivation a habit rather than a sporadic occurrence. When he says not bathing every day can be a discomfort, it can be also discomfort to the people around you. Last but not least, in essence, thank you, Mr. Ziegler. Ziegler's quote is a call to action to make motivation a part of our daily routine. Just like you brush your teeth. Sometimes you have to brush your teeth several times a day. Why? Because you may have eaten something that was a little more dirty, more cranny, more like in your teeth. Salad gets trapped. You might have to do a little extra. Sometimes you need more motivation. More days than sometimes more times in a day than normal. You got to have it. Daily routines, ensuring that we remain driven and focused on our goals every day. It's a reminder that the pursuit of personal and professional success is an ongoing journey that benefits from regular doses of motivation. Y'all hear? Are y'all hearing this? Are you hearing this? Yes, DS. DS says consistency, intensity, doing something 5 minutes a day beats a full session once a week. Exactly, sir. Exactly. Right? Yes. DS says again, motivation often comes after action, not before. Starting small can create a momentum to keep going. I read a book, I think it's called Make Your Bed. It's by a naval officer. I think it's called Make Your Bed. Make Your Bed Daily or something like that. And he's an admiral from the Navy. And it was one of the, it's one of the books that really impressed upon me. But I was doing it before, but it really kind of like really instilled is that every morning you wake up, the first task of the day is to make your bed. Why? Because it will dictate the rest of your day. If you get up in the morning and make your bed, it is the first task of the day and the first task of achievement in the day. And because you were able to make your bed, that is something to say as an accomplishment today. I did my first task. Now the next. Then you go on to the next. So it's called Make Your Bed. I do believe it's called Make Your Bed. I'll have to give you that too, but it's by the Admiral from the Navy. And it's a really good book because it talks about how everything stems from the little things you do in your day. You become better by doing the little things you do in the day. How you start your day? If you start your day crappy, you're going to have a crappy day. If you eat the bad foods in the morning, your first meal of the day, which is your breakfast, whatever that may be, it will either make you feel healthy or it will make you sluggish. You got to eat the right foods. As the first meal has to be your best meal. It has to have fibers and good nutrition. Your first the first, as I call it, break the fast. When you were fasting through the night, break the fast, right? And then you start your day off with a good meal, something healthy. And you will feel good the rest of the day. I like this one. DS says, Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Ooh, I like that one. I love Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but an habit. You see the trend? You see the conversation? You see what we're talking about today? DS says, how do you become a better photographer? Shoot. Consistency. Anthony says, everything looks like a failure in the middle. You can't make a cake without getting the kitchen messy. Price Pratchett. Right? Celebrate small victories. Right? Yes, what we eat has so much to do with how we feel. So my challenge to you guys, one, what is keeping you motivated? What's going to keep you motivated this week? There's a lot of discouragement out there. There's a lot of ugliness going on in this country, in the world. What's going to keep you motivated? What's going to keep you pressing through the noise? What is going to do that? Who's motivating you? Have you set up an army of motivators around you? I got a bunch of them. I can't do this without my motivators. Gwendolyn will tell you. She and I talk every day. Motivation. Chris will tell you we talk every time. Not every day, but we text all day. If it's not texting, we talk. Motivators. If I need Omar, I'll call Omar. Motivator. Omar, business is slow this week. How's it doing for you? He says, well, it's a little slow here too. Okay, it's not just me. Motivators. Who is your army of motivators? Who are your motivators? And then, last but not least, who are you motivating? Who are you motivating? Whether it's a platform like this, or it's just talking to your neighbor, or reaching out and sending a text, or just having a conversation on the phone. Who are you motivating? And what I found in life, 61 years of being on this planet, when you motivate others, you also motivate yourself. When you motivate others, you motivate yourself. When you motivate and strengthen someone else, you reinforce the knowledge you have within you. Okay, let me go to my banners. If you want to stay connected, join the email list you want news service updates and industry news, monthly trends, be in the know. Go to ronlewisphotos.com and join the newsletter. That way, if these internet platforms go away, we still have email. Email won't go away. I don't think email will go away, but these platforms might. So make sure you join the email list. Also, if you're looking for an event photographer, I will be photographing all over the globe. I'll be photographing in Africa. I'll be photographing in New York. I'll be photographing all over the place. I'm always photographing. My camera is always with me. I am an event photographer. That's what I do. What does that mean? That means it could be photojournalism. It is an event. If there's something going on, it's an event. I photograph events. That's what I'm called to do. That's my purpose in photography. Now, I like other kinds of photography too, but how I make my money is event photography. And then I want to say thank you to our Patreon members. You make what we do here happen. You pay for this StreamYard, the Canva, the Microsoft editing tools, the storage space. That's what you do. You support the Patreon members. And if you can't, maybe you decide, yeah, you know what, I don't want to be a Patreon member. You can always support through just putting money. I guess you got that little thing on the little icon on the bottom of the YouTube comment box like Hannah did today. Thank you, Hannah, for that today. Thank you, Hannah, for doing that today. Okay, so guys, thank you for joining me today. If you're here and you did not hit the likes, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you share. Hit the likes and share. And you can comment. Comments go a long ways in the cyber world. Let's see what's going on Instagram. I hope you got something in Instagram. If you're over Instagram, I hope you got something out of this. If you're still there, and if you're Instagram, you happen to come on over to YouTube, welcome, welcome. Join, become a subscriber, subscribe. Let's get this community to at least 1,000. Let's get to 1,000. We're at 709 now. We had 0, now we're at 709. Let's get it to 1,000. That way we can really get the benefits of being on YouTube. So help us get to 1,000 and beyond. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great week. Let's be motivated and motivate others. Later. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.